What up? This is Sean Longevity with Bringing Down the Band and the New Old Heads podcast. And on episode 438, we randomly talked about Grand Theft Auto 6 and its upcoming huge pop culture impact that it's going to have, or this huge cultural moment that's going to have, and how much of a hip hop moment that will be. So I'm going to watch the second half of that video. I separated this in between a couple segments. And the reason why I want to watch this one is because it talks more so about how this moment and how hip hop artists can benefit from it, in general. If this is, I don't know if I fully subscribe to the idea of this being a massive hip hop moment, like to Terry's point. I feel like it is just a massive pop culture moment that just has overlap into hip hop. Yeah. It's kind of how I see it personally. But what I will say is that this will affect hip hop artists, I think, in a very positive way. And if this is going to be such a big moment, how can artists leverage the moment?
See, that's what I was thinking, because if I'm looking at it from an artist standpoint, I want to be a part of this somehow. If we want to say slots open up,
yeah, for sure,
or if things are adjusted or things change, I want a piece of that.
No, for sure.
We're submitting records left and right to try to get into this because of obviously the impact, but I'm thinking residual income. If it's what you guys are saying it is, this is going to last for a long time.
And so just a little bit of a premise here. So the first part of this segment, we talked about, is GTA 6 going to be a bigger hip hop cultural moment than the Kendrick and Drake beef was? And I posed the question, not necessarily believing it. And this is what you do on podcasts sometimes. You propose questions just so people can argue. And so I proposed the question so that we could go about it and talk about it deeper. And my argument was essentially, well, there's a lot of hip hop culture within these video games. The radio stations were a huge part of the video games. The long-standing nature of the games of lasting, still the amount of people that spend money on GTA, the role-playing servers that have, the GTA Online, the live streamers that do it, but then also the music that's in the game itself that's been in there playing on repeat for over 10 years is massive for hip hop artists. It's an interesting thing to where, like, this new type of economy is kind of being formed and built inside of a video game that could potentially put money in creatives and artists' pockets in the real world. And we've seen this kind of become a thing in the past. I cut this out of the actual segment, but like, I remember a game called Second Life back in like 2005, 6 or 7 or something around there, where you were like this avatar. Think of like The Sims, but like open world kind of in a way. And I remember, like, I was, this is back in my college days, and, I was just trying stuff out, and I was an early musician. And I remember I found some people, and I don't remember how this happened, but I found some people, and I walked into this like club in this game, and they had DJs playing music in the club, and random people would just come to it. And I remember asking them, like, how do I become a DJ? And I remember I DJ'd like 1 or 2 nights for like over an hour, where I was playing my own music and using the software that they were using in this video game. And I was thinking to myself at the time, man, there's really potential here to like make money in a virtual type of way and grow a brand inside of a video game. And then I'd stop playing the game. But like, fast forward to today, and we have Grand Theft Auto coming out. We have also these lots of newer games coming out that are potentially have this type of capability. But you have these games to where like content exists inside of a game. And artists have been getting money from this for a while. A lot of artists have been working on soundtracks and stuff like that. Just Blaze, historically. Shouts to Mega Ran. He did something for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game that came out for like the end credits or something. But this is not new, right? But this is a different type of artistic economy to where like it's almost, think of it as a way of like, if there's a radio station in a video game, can you get radio royalties from a video game playing your music in a video game? Now, granted, I think historically these games existed in isolation, right? So these games existed in a sense, you buy the game, you put the disc in, it just lives. But a lot of these games now have a lot of DLC. You You have to be online the entire time. They can track this type of stuff. They can, what's going in. They can take songs out. They can put songs in. It kind of begs the question, should artists and artist representatives be pushing for more rights within the inside of a video game, especially on a game that is so massive, such as GTA? Like, do you just sell your rights completely? If they give me $10,000 or $20,000 for my likeness of my song in this, do I accept that? Or do I say, hey, I want you to figure out a way to track this and pay me 0.00, give me Spotify royalties for every single time that this is played on played on the radio in this video game? Can I get a royalty rate for not only the people that are buying the master recording of it, so the video game people who are buying the game outright and don't play it online, but when it's played online, can I get another royalty rate for every single time that this is broadcast in a video game? What if they are broadcasting and they're live streaming this and my song gets played? I don't know. I feel like there's a lot to explore here. So I don't know how the deals work with the musician.
Yeah.
Like I doubt it works like a pro, like ASCAP.
Okay.
Like I doubt they're going out and tracking.
I was just asking.
I doubt it's that. I don't think that would be crazy. Imagine a royalty.
Oh my God.
That would be generated from video game plays, because now video games, a lot of times you can only play them online.
Yeah.
Which could be like streaming, right?
So imagine like they could track, well, it would be more so like a Pandora, right? Which is different from streaming. I know I'm splitting hairs here, but streaming is more so like the master recording. Pandora or internet digital radio plays or anything like that is a little bit different, and there's a different royalty. So, plays.
You're giving someone an idea.
I'm just saying.
And I think to Jay, and I feel like you may be going there. I feel like these playlists could be updated.
Yeah.
Just like they do patch notes for things that need to be fixed in the game.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
If new music can be added or removed as needed. Like, I just remember there was one game where Daz Dillinger, he's like, "Oh, I didn't get paid enough for this," or something.
Oh, okay.
And
I remember that too. I don't remember what it was.
I don't remember if they patched the song out or just in subsequent pressings of the game, that song was just taken off of the soundtrack, because that's the sort of thing that can happen. Now, I think that when you talk about, I think there needs to be almost a new business model when any artist submits music for a song. Or, because like I said, okay, I just don't get a one-time fee. I'm being...
Yeah, honestly, this kind of like, the more I think about this kind of mirrors the way the music business is set up now. You have the master recording, the file, and then you have essentially the performance royalties of the song being performed in something publicly. Is a video game that's broadcast and forced to be online, is that public domain, like in that particular manner? You could have a song that lives on the physical version of the game and you can get paid a flat fee for that. And then you could, as they rotate playlists, maybe, you sign an agreement and you get put in their playlist rotation for a particular radio station in a game for X amount of time. Forza Horizon does this too. I feel like, I'm very curious. Maybe I'm just in the ignorant right now and I don't know how this is done, or maybe it's being looked at, but this is definitely something that I think from a creative arts perspective needs to be examined.
If you're playing my game online with other people, I need to go ahead and see there needs to be something that tracks how many times that song is played.
But that's probably based off today's culture. That's probably what I would call too much right? Because it makes too much sense to do that.
Well, streaming wasn't available when the last one came out, I don't believe.
Now, don't get me wrong. I'm kind of anti have to be online all the time when I play video games, and maybe you probably still, there would be no way to track it if you went offline.
True.
So that's where it would be a little tricky, I think. But except, again, as I just clarified, unless there's just 2 licenses,
Yeah, because if you had the game and weren't playing online, it's just automatically downloaded to the disc, or actually a lot of them don't even have disc drives anymore. So
yeah, I don't know it, but I think that's definitely something that music rights people definitely need to look into.
Yeah.
Like especially if they're forcing you to be online, like so. And that Daz Dillinger, it was specifically the song "Seawalk" and "Nothing But the Cavi."
Number the Cavi hit, yeah.
Mhm.
It was removed from Grand Theft Auto 5.
Okay,
Okay.
and I remember those being on there too. They're actually in NBA 2K 2003, I believe.
That's another game. NBA 2K is another one. A lot of these games incorporate music, man.
That soundtrack
3?
went platinum. 2K 2003.
I think that might have been NBA Live. I remember
it
seeing
might have
plaque
been
for that.
live. It might have been,
But it went platinum?
the soundtrack itself went platinum.
I think was that the Just Blaze album? I feel like I want to look this up now. NBA Live 2003. Yep, certified platinum was first. Was that Just Blaze? He produced and contributed to the soundtrack with the song "Let's Go" featuring Freeway. The success was broader achievement of the game and its music. Interesting. Okay. That's
That's
crazy.
from just a video game. So I mean, it's absolutely something that's achievable. And I imagine with this being centered in Florida, that a lot of Florida artists would be able to reap the benefits of being the soundtrack behind this game.
That was a piece that I didn't realize at first, because when I was thinking about Grand Theft Auto, San Andreas or 5 or whatever, based in California essentially, and so there's a lot of California radio stations, and it just so happens that I didn't realize that it was very Cali centric at the time, because there's so many artists that dip into the Cali sound. But
Game. So I'm sure they probably already reached out to him, because recall San Andreas was LA
Heavy West
heavy.
Coast.
that's very true. It's very LA heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It even had
Cali
it had
heavy.
the throwback station. It had
Mhm.
the funk station.
Yeah.
So
I would be shooting my shot if I was an artist.
So I guess that is interesting too.
You are an artist, Mike.
Maybe if it is super centric in the sense of like Florida based, maybe it won't have such a big reach musically as it has the previous game, which
That's
is
fair.
possible, because
The sound won't be as versatile.
Yeah.
Right?
But you know what
unless it's like internet radio or something, or satellite radio.
one of my favorite things about Grand Theft Auto is the radio station it plays when you get in the car depends on where you steal the car from.
That's
Oh,
very
for
interesting
real?
too. I was thinking about that as well. Like, yeah, like the country, like when you're out in the country, like actually, I realized this the last time that I rebought the game for 5 is like when you're driving in way out in the bum area that nobody way out there. There are certain radio stations that you can only listen to out there. I think it's only, which is very. I think it's only one radio station, but I literally was playing it maybe a couple months ago, and I was like, oh wow, like this is, I can only listen to this out here. Very interesting. So I feel like this has a lot of potential, depending on how the game is crafted, or maybe not much at all. So
Can't wait till you buy it.
yeah, the more I think about this has a ton of potential. This has a lot of potential.
I'm absolutely buying it.
Oh yeah.
All 3 of y'all copy this, right?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Without question. As soon as you can download it, I'm going to go ahead and do that pre-buy and,
Exactly.
and get it already set and ready. So
Smart
You ain't
that
gonna
the
have
day that it
smart
comes
delivery
out.
done.
You ain't
Yeah.
gonna have it that day.
Yeah, that's the whole goal.
No, you're not. You ain't gonna have it that day.
Okay.
Why wouldn't he?
He said, okay.
I don't.
Okay.
Once again, you don't understand how
I
these
don't.
things work. Like there are certain games you can have pre-downloaded onto your system,
Yeah.
and the day of release, all the assets are already on your.
So
and
y'all
you're
are
ready to
thirsty
go.
at midnight, 12:01, boom, we on that
Come
thing.
on, man.
Like I think you need to like what I don't think you quite understand is
I
just,
don't.
this is quite possibly one of the biggest pop cultural moments in history.
Okay.
It's absolutely.
I would argue that this is going to be huge. It already is big. It's going to be huge.
Absolutely the biggest game in history, no doubt.
But
I
it's- but it's
hope
up
they
there.
have enough servers, because that first
Yeah.
day is going to be nuts.
Yeah.
It's going to be worse than Call of Duty. I don't know if y'all got on Call of Duty when it first comes out. Sometimes the servers are a little laggy. The game is a
It's
little
not even going to
weird.
compare.
Yeah.
No.
It's like comparing TDE to Dreamville.
Wow.
That's a callback to a previous episode.
Hey.
It's just compare.
Look, Mike. In,
Still great games.
in perspective, imagine the original Star Wars and Thriller came out the same day. It's still not going to compare.
Oh, it's like that.
Yes.
It's serious.
Okay.
It's a very serious thing. So I don't know. This was when I first thought about this, I was like, this could have a lot of impact. From an artist standpoint, though, I really would like to see artists be on top of it. It would be really cool if
Man.
Rockstar Games had some sort of ability to, I don't know if a submission process is the right thing, but a way to like outsource how music could get on there to give
That would
people
be-
the opportunity.
That would
and-
be dope. I'm sure they would get flooded, but
You might want to go ahead and start trying to figure that out. Like
Oh,
right
I've
now.
already.
Yeah, low
I've been
key.
thinking about this for 3 months.
Yeah.
But imagine if, like, in the game, games in the future are going to get more like to be more like Ready Player One, you know. But imagine a game where, like, I work at a DJ and production school. I teach the music production there. I don't DJ, but imagine new gigs pop up, and you're like, "Oh yeah, where are you DJing at? Oh yeah, I'm DJing at the strip club in GTA in this server." You know what I mean? Like, are you getting paid for it? Are you getting residuals? And are the artists getting money for that? I don't know. There's a lot. It's crazy.
Yeah.
low
So
key.
I haven't seen any.
Because we'll get a folder together.
I think after thinking this through with you guys, I definitely don't think it's going to be as big of a hip hop moment, but it's definitely going to be a big.
Shout out to the artists to get that up front,
Yeah.
though, if they
Yeah,
get on
I'm-
this game.
Yeah, if you don't understand, like literally, if whatever entertainment properties are coming out during that time, they're going to have to shift their plans.
Yeah,
Yeah.
put a pause on
It's
all
going
of
to be
this.
like, okay, do we want to release this movie this weekend? Do we want to put out another game this close to Grand Theft Auto? Because there are games that got swept up in Grand Theft Auto 5 that were great games, and we just don't know about them.
Yeah, it's like throwing an event, a hip hop event in Indianapolis when the Pacers are playing. You just
Yeah.
might as well just
Unless
change.
you're
That's a
right
good-
down
that's
the
a
street
good
from
one.
the stadium.
Yeah.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Hey, wait a minute.
Had to show Terry's drip there.
No.
Unless you happen to pop off right after
After
the
the
game.
Got to be after hours, though. Got to be
Yeah.
after the game.
I think I kind of said everything I needed to say here, but yeah, I'm very interested in how this space continues to grow, and I will definitely be monitoring this. So yeah, let me know your thoughts if you got any thoughts on this as well. But yeah, New Old Heads. This is from episode 438. If you want the full uncut, which I do know specifically because I just edited this, is that like not all of this segment, which was probably 45 minutes, is going to make it to the public internet because it was cut out of 2 segments, and I think we skipped probably about half the segment. But yeah, if you want the uncut segment, patreon.com/newoldheads, $5 a month to support the show. If you just want to check the regular episode, just episode 438. So appreciate y'all. Until next time.